Podcast. Today is episode number 12, and my name is Lauren, aka Lo.
There you go. My name is Roshad, aka Shad.
Cam in the building like always.
And we have a special guest joining us today. Why don't you give your name and your aka if you have one?
I'm Nate, aka Nate.
No, this is the real Nate Blackout we have.
Yeah,
It is
the
the real
Nate Blackout.
Blackout. You're right.
Uh-huh. And unfortunately today, Abel, aka
Abel.
Abel, no AKAs.
Could not be with us again.
We miss him, but we'll see him next time.
Yes, and on this episode, we are going to be talking about cancel culture.
You've been X'd.
And if you're listening, you're like, what the heck is cancel culture?
Tell him low.
I'm just going to read to you what Wikipedia has to say.
Wikipedia
Cancel-
is not reliable.
Well,
I got through
But it's
college
sourced.
with
It's actually
Wikipedia.
sourced from many reputable places.
Sources.
So.
come
Sources.
through, Nate.
Reputable
So,
sources.
according to Wikipedia, they are calling this call-out culture or outrage culture. It's a form of public shaming that aims to hold individuals and groups accountable for their actions by calling attention to their behavior that is perceived as problematic, usually on social media. So we've seen this a lot with multiple celebrities where something happens, let's say Kanye. When he came out...
Are we starting with Kanye?
No, I'm just saying, I'm just
We're
going to...
gonna start with the big hitter.
Well, I'm gonna gloss over that real quick, but my point I'm trying to make is he'll come out, say something outlandish, everyone's in an uproar, like, oh no, we done with him, bye Kanye, we ain't supporting you, etc., etc. Fast forward a week later, he drops a shoe and everyone's in line to get it, or online getting that shoe, rocking that shoe, anything. Everyone is at Sunday service, clapping and
Ain't been
praising.
to church in months.
Okay, so that is what we have seen with cancel culture, which doesn't really seem to be a reliable movement. But that was just one example. So we're going to dive into cancel culture, whether or not we think people can really be canceled, who needs to be canceled.
Some of them got to go.
And yeah, so let's
Don't
just...
do us
Oh, okay.
Let's just go into it.
Okay, so since I already mentioned Kanye,
We can start there.
we're just gonna start with Kanye because
Okay, so let's start. So let's go back. So why should Kanye be canceled to begin
Why
with?
should-
He shouldn't.
No, what has he done to us make us think of Kanye?
Slavery was a choice.
Yes.
But did
That
you-
was grounds for canceling.
But did you understand what he meant?
Did he?
yeah,
come
that part.
on,
that part.
Okay,
Right.
so Cameron, since you
Alright.
with Kanye, you explain
Alright,
what.
so look,
mind
let's be
you,
clear.
I hope when you edit this, play the clip,
Please
and
play
then
the clip.
For 400 years? For 400 years? That sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? You know, like, it's like we're mentally in prison. I like the word prison because slavery goes too direct to the idea of blacks. It's like slavery, Holocaust Jews, slavery is blacks. So prison.
play his
For sure.
response.
All right, so it's not that I'm with Kanye. I just like to think about shit in other people's perspective. So if I'm thinking about it, how Kanye said it, at least to me, because I haven't talked to Kanye, I ain't calling this week. What I'm thinking is when he said slavery was a choice, he's saying mentally, because there were those rebels like Nat Turner and shit like that fought against slavery. You know what I'm saying? So he's saying slavery was a choice by not running away or not choosing to revolt. You feel me? Not so much as like, oh, I chose slavery. I want to be beat the fuck up. I want to pick cotton. You feel me? Like, it wasn't like that. It was more of a mental.
No, I
Like
Cameron, I hear you. I really do. But the thing about, I don't want to get into like the politics of Kanye West and why or why not. What
Get
he
into
said,
it, please.
Why or why not that you agree or not with him. But the issue for me is when you say something that when you have a platform like Kanye West does, and you say something that is so polarizing like that, it becomes dangerous because you have a lot of people who are paying attention to him, not just kids, but people our age, even older, who are looking at him. So when you say things like that, when you say things like the MAGA hat is a superpower,
I don't agree with that.
when you say all these things, I say it's grounds for cancellation because you're becoming dangerous because you're influencing a lot of people who are saying, you know what, that's right, or I'm gonna do this too, and I'm gonna do this too, and becomes the following mentality, and that's why it's gone to canceling. Whether or not I agree with him, it's dangerous. And so for me, cancel culture, I wish it was real. I don't really think it is, and we can get into that too, but it's an issue because Kanye West is saying things that are actually harmful.
Yeah.
So let me rewind and go give you some like background context around like what Kanye said when he said it. So we're referencing a lot of his statements he made on TMZ, and this was like back in April, May of 2018.
It was like
Damn.
years ago.
It's
Yeah.
been a minute.
It's been a second.
And he's been smooth sailing. So basically, what Kanye said in the TMZ newsroom was that I will quote him. When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. And then he went on to say, well, actually, he ended up getting in an argument with one of the TMZ.
Van, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regarding that specific comment. And it seemed in the moment he could not even justify what he said. It was like he was just he was vomiting, like word vomit. He said some shit and couldn't even back it up because it was ludicrous, the thought of it. And it makes you think of consider people who are raped or they're kidnapped, and you hear about them, like you think from the outside looking in, like, oh, they should have just ran away, right? They had
should have
some
dressed
like
differently.
they should have did this and that, but you cannot discount the psychological aspects of what goes into slavery, what goes into other forms of abuse, and how that it's in itself is it traps you. You can't just say like that's a choice. You're not choosing. Like
Right.
you're
Right.
you're
Essentially, you're mentally enslaved.
you're incapacitated. You cannot make the
And that's what you're
decisions
saying,
that we
Kanye?
would.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying I agree or disagree with what he said. I'm saying, like, I like to think of shit in a different perspective, just to try and make sense of it all. I'm not saying what he said was right because it's nothing that should be said absolutely at all ever. You feel me? Like, that's not being such a traumatic event for our people for so long. You being an influencer with our people, why would you even say something like that? So I get the danger in it,
Right.
but I just try to think about it in a different way. Like, maybe this could be why he said it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, did he explain himself later, if I remember correctly, that he was like mentioning like slavery was a choice, as in the mentality of slavery is that people still, like African Americans, are still living in these like sort of conditions like now by choice. I think that's what he tried to explain it as.
And that's not a good explanation because
No.
a lot of the way people are living is not by choice. This is literally, it's systematic and it's trickled down from slavery.
Right,
Like, you
and
can't
yes-
get away from that.
Yeah, yes, I do. I agree with that because I don't agree with what Kanye said at all. My whole point with Kanye is like he's like supposed to be one of like the best rappers of like the last generation or whatever. If you can't be a rapper and choose your words better, to me that's a problem. I'm like, you sit down and write words and music all day, so you should be able to articulate yourself better. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
I'm like, you talk too much not to be able to say this the correct way.
And I feel like all his outlandish remarks are part of just marketing schemes.
It is. It
Like-
absolutely
Like
is.
like they say, there's no bad publicity. Like,
But
regardless
he's
of-
always
Like,
been
all
someone who has
publicity.
been outspoken, but I think that's grounds for what he's all these different.
Cancellation.
I think it's grounds for cancellation. Now, I don't have any Yeezys. I don't stream or buy any of his music these days anymore.
What music?
And well, he
Hold on
He just
now.
released a whole
just released
album.
two different
didn't he?
albums.
Yeah.
Two different
Yeah.
albums last year.
I
He released an
missed
album. He had
it.
the four albums.
I
Yeah,
got
the one
3
with Kid
pair of
Cudi.
Yeezys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's been out doing
I
a lot of
listen to
stuff.
the Life of
He has the
Pablo all the
whole
time.
whole Sunday service that people go to at Coachella. He sold these T-shirts for $400. All this merch. He's not canceled by all means. Like, I don't have to support him, but is there a reason why, you haven't canceled him personally? But
Me?
and why his comments or his actions may be different than someone like R. Kelly, who should be canceled.
Oh, R. Kelly should definitely
What if-
cancel.
They look
But
big
people are not.
different.
I'm just saying, but cancel culture. I'm just saying,
So-
cancel
Yeah,
culture
yeah.
doesn't exist. If we're gonna use these different examples,
Personally,
Look at R. Kelly next.
it's not that I haven't. It's not that I haven't canceled him, but I mean, I guess I haven't
You haven't.
because
You
I
can
do
all his
own 3
albums,
pair of
buying
Yeezys.
his
buying
own
his
shoes.
stuff.
I buy shoes, but I buy them under retail price. So I'm not really putting the money he want in his pocket. But you know, I mean, I like shoes. Shit, sue me. Fuck y'all. Like,
What
but
is grounds for like cancellation for
cancellation?
Cameron?
for what R. Kelly did, that's I don't listen to his music. I don't nothing. R. Kelly's canceled off top. Like that is
Even the stuff he
That-
wrote or
that was
produced.
like no, not at all. I'm
So,
listening to
Michael Jackson
Michael
record you
Jackson.
don't listen
Exactly. I'm not even a really big fan of Michael Jackson.
Ooh, blasphemy. But
I'm a Prince fan, but
You could be both.
I mean, I choose Prince over Michael Jackson. That's my
No,
choice.
that's what I do not. When I cancel somebody, they are canceled. I don't listen to R.
Right.
Kelly at all.
Me either. I don't listen to R. Kelly whatsoever. I don't watch
he's
Space
so much.
Jam
He's
because
so
his
far in the
music on it.
fabric of.
Oh, I don't know about. don't do Space Jam.
Only because like his song is on there. So
Skip
that's
over
good.
that part, but I love me some Space Jam.
But he get royalties from that. You feel me? Like if you were to do like if it was streaming, if you streaming and watching it, he getting royalties from that. So I'm not finna put money in this monster's pocket. You feel me?
Yes.
He's the epitome of the word monster to me.
He is a monster.
Yes.
Yes.
I think
So-
we are all in agreement
Yeah,
there about
so-
R. Kelly.
So
Yes.
those are my grounds for cancellation.
So you have to.
Shit, like,
Okay.
like that. That's
See,
not
but-
that's not forgivable to me. You feel me? Like
Yeah, I agree.
some stuff, you know, people change over time. So I can see Kanye, you know, getting older. Not saying that's gonna happen, but I can see him getting older and
But
realizing
he's
what he
already
did.
old. How old is
he is-
Kanye?
he's-
Let me look this up. Like, I feel like Kanye's
mid-
old. So, like,
40s, heading
how
towards
do you
He in his
revert?
mid-40s?
He's mid 40s.
Oh.
But he can get older, and he does have kids. So when his kids go through some of the stuff, he will see shit differently. You know what I'm saying? So there's a chance.
But it's
for
also
him.
like, what is he teaching his kids? You're saying slavery is a choice, whether you meant it or not, and your kids are watching that and taking that to heart.
I feel
That
that.
sounds very privileged. Like,
It's
me
very
to say some shit like
privileged.
that. Like, I
It's
say all
very
the time, like, I've said
privileged.
stuff like, oh, I couldn't do it. I'd be fighting everybody. But no, I wouldn't. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
This is me sitting from my very, very privileged perspective
Yes.
saying this. Like, after everything that everyone before me has done, you know what I mean, in regards to my freedom
Yeah.
and my rights that I have today, which still are less than other folks, I can say right now, oh, you know, I would be talking back. I
Yeah,
would be doing
yeah,
this and that, but
yeah.
no, I wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Not with
I
that
would
way.
be, you know, like my family would have been torn apart.
Yep.
I may not have been speaking the same languages
Yep.
as the other slaves on the plantation.
Yep.
I may not have spoken the same sort of English as the slave owners. There's a lot of things that
That
were,
go into it. Yes.
yeah, and
A
it's
lot of
like
variables.
to say something like that is so problematic. It's also dangerous when you think about the climate of today regarding race relations and how we should just get over slavery and get over Jim Crow and get over this and that, which was like 2 years ago. You know, like
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things,
So-
it was not that long ago.
As a black person to
Okay,
say all that
so-
stuff too.
I have a question for you, Nate. As far as like the career and what you do, first tell the people what you do so they know. So it follows the question.
I do music marketing. Let's leave it at that.
So, so as music marketing, do you not see the potential gain from saying outlandish stuff like that, regardless of how dangerous it is?
I mean, I get it, but how far are we willing to go to
True.
to
Moral.
and morally, like there's some stuff that's just wrong. There's just some stuff that, you know, I've been in meetings with people where it's like, we're not going to do this anymore because it's going to affect the culture negatively. Like
Right.
literally at my previous job, we had a meeting where like, we're not putting guns in videos anymore because the climate that we're in, we can't keep pushing this narrative of thugs with guns. Like we're not, so
Yeah.
we're not paying for anything that has to do with guns and black people
Yeah.
as a narrative. So it's like there has to be some sort of like baseline moral compass that we have to all kind of agree on. And I know money talks. Kanye West is someone who has a lot of money and a lot of influence. So I get it's hard, but at what point do you put all that aside, or you know, put your own selfish desires and needs aside for for the greater good? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't always have to say anything, especially as a celebrity. I'm not a celebrity, obviously, but if I have such a big platform, I don't always need to say everything. I don't always need to. Even if I'm giving to charity, I don't need to always make that publicized. If I'm, volunteering somewhere, that doesn't always need to be photographed or whatever. So I think there's a point, and you know, he's a narcissist.
Very much so.
One of the biggest ones that there is in popular culture. So I mean, I get it. It's part of the business. It is part of the business, and it's arguably who Kanye West has always been.
Yeah.
I don't think it makes it right.
No, it doesn't. I completely agree.
And it is grounds
But I
for.
just want to know like how you felt.
For me,
about
it
on the
is
marketing
grounds
aspect.
for canceling him. Like
Yeah.
I will not. I have bought his records, so the records I have, if they come up on shuffle, I'm not really gonna be like, oh, switch. I'm not giving any more royalties or anything because I'm not streaming it. It's stuff I already own. But I'm also not really going out and saying, yeah, I want to put on a Kanye West song. I'm not buying his merch. I'm not actively buying. He hasn't gone on tour in a while, but if he were, I'm not gonna buy tickets and help support him and help support this. What I feel is a negative message.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Like, who is?
Yeah, because I mean, I wouldn't go either. I already got the albums, but the shoes, I like shoes, so I don't know.
I get it, but even if you're not buying the shoes for retail, you're still wearing them. People are still looking at them. They're still seeing them. They're still saying, "Oh, those Yeezys," and it helps promote his brand regardless. So
But essentially, what Cameron's saying, Kanye West hasn't done anything that bad enough for me to feel like I don't have to support him.
In comparison to someone like R. Kelly, sure, but what about like someone like Stacey Dash?
What'd she do again?
I forgot about her.
Stacey was real right wing. She's a slipped out. She was real right wing, like Fox. She was one of those like for a moment, if I am not mistaken, she was one of those Fox like
news
political pundits. Yeah.
But what'd she do?
She just was saying a lot of outlandish things regarding when Trump was running for office, when he initially, like, within his, like, first year of office, when people had a lot of negative things to say, specifically about his grab them by the pussy comments and all this. When we, like, she just did not understand why people were, you know, in such an uproar and was very, like, pro-Trump, I think she's very conservative. So she was making a lot of crazy comments and people canceled her. I think
it's easier.
I think she actually did get canceled.
People actually did cancel her.
Because
her check stopped coming.
It's easier to cancel her because she wasn't doing nothing anyway.
So
she didn't do shit since Clueless.
That is very true.
Yeah.
But her check stopped coming for sure.
She's real out of sight, out of mind. So it's easy
her checks got canceled fast.
Well, you know, when she's a black woman, I'm pretty sure it's easy to cancel.
But when the only people who
that
support
is wait.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, speak on that, Roshan.
No,
that's
well, I got a whole bunch of ideas about Stacey Dash. Like, for one, like, I don't like the cancel culture when people, like, say things that majority of people don't agree with. Like, since she was conservative and, like, right-wing, people just automatically already have a problem. That was like, what did, like, I'm not mad at Kanye West for wearing, like, a maggot hat. I'm like, if this is his political views, let him wear the hat. Like, I could care less about what his political views are.
But I don't feel like that's just like a political view. So it's one thing to be like economically conservative or think that, you know, we should have this in place for our schools in order to, you know, further our children in their futures or have, you know, whatever. But it's another thing when you're supporting a platform that has been openly racist, you know, and bigoted and has said things to sort of like degrade entire groups of people. That's where my problem comes with supporting MAGA. If somebody a couple years back were supporting John McCain, let's say, political views, right?
Yeah, I understand that.
But everything that Trump and this whole new era of conservatism that he's created, I don't think it's new.
I just think it's just.
It ain't new.
I just think it was just
American history.
And I just think he was like the main one in it. So like people, you only got two people, and you only got two sides.
But it also hurts for us as black people. I don't want to see a black person supporting that. That hurts personally. You know what I mean? If it's someone who's white, I might be like, all right, well that's just who they are.
I don't.
I'm not okay with it either.
No, I'm not okay with it either. But I can kind of write it off as well.
But why can't you just write it off as that's how he identifies? You feel me? Like, that's just who he wants to be and who he is. We can't... America is built on being who you want to be. You feel me? Like, regardless of how you feel or how I feel about who somebody is and how they express themselves, that's not fair of us to judge them based off of that.
But if being who you want to be means preventing other people from being who they want to be, I can't get with it.
You don't have to get with it.
I know, but that's what you are doing.
And I'm not going to be okay with that.
I agree.
I know. That's like...
So I'm not going to allow you to be...
That's a typical Bay Area perspective. Like, if you don't agree with all the blue and all the left-wing people, then your opinion doesn't matter.
No, my thing is, I'm okay with people having different views on what policies they think will actually add benefit to society. But
in your opinion, a benefit is an opinion.
No. You might think, I may say, oh, I can't even think of a topic right now to address, but what I'm saying is...
Because we're on a whole nother topic.
No, we are, but what I'm saying is, if you're an individual and your beliefs actually bring harm to people, like...
Right.
Okay.
That's what I can't get with. You are automatically canceled in my book.
They can say that for black people.
What about black people?
They can say our beliefs and how whites treated us, regardless of how we feel, that we believe that, you know, we should be on top or we got to do by any means
Who
necessary.
said that?
There's
Who
people
said
out.
that?
There's people out there that feel that way. You feel me?
It is some people out there.
Like,
no,
to
you're
do
right.
whatever we got to do by any means
Yeah, for
necessary
sure.
that brings harm to people. And not every white person has done it. But they can say we're wrong because our beliefs bring harm to people.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not for anyone who's saying like we need to do harm to anyone else. That's that's fundamentally where I stand on all the issues. Like I'm not for anyone trying to uplift themselves or their people by bringing someone else down.
I think we all agree with
Yeah,
that.
I agree with that.
So that's where my issue lies with Kanye and the whole MAGA situation, because it's just dangerous to go around being like, I support this dude, or the people who bother me so much who is like, he's always been nice to me, or like, you know, I've always had great encounters with him, but that doesn't matter. The same thing is said for people who end up going to shoot up a school or like become a serial killer. They're like, oh, but they were so nice and so sweet.
You don't
know
about
that.
those people.
Huh?
Those people, you don't get good words. They're like, he was crazy.
No, but some people were like, I never saw it coming because he was so nice.
I knew he was crazy.
But it's like you don't know until they, you know.
They show you their true colors until they have a platform to actually show.
And Nathan pulled up some facts. Come on,
I
Nate.
just wanted to see, because we're talking, you know, with Kanye and Stacey, who I brought her up. We're talking about like a lot of political charged people. I was just trying to see who else has been canceled or what canceled means.
Tried to cancel Daniel Caesar.
And someone named Lisa Nakamura said that it's a cultural boycott, and I actually like that phrase. And I think part of it is brought on. I didn't read the entire article; I kind of scanned it, but I think a lot of it's brought on by the internet. And like, you know, Twitter has a lot of power, Instagram has a lot of power. People have a lot of voices, so everyone wants to, you know, speak their opinion. And we collectively, you know, not always collectively, but generally we do want to say, oh, so-and-so is canceled. But what does that mean, I guess, for Rashad and Lauren? Because I think Cameron and I kind of answered it. But what does that mean for you guys if you're canceling someone? I know you touched on it a little bit too, but outside of politics, like, who are you boycotting for any other reason, maybe?
Who else am I
You're
boycotting?
boycotting.
If there is, or is outside of politics, is there a reason that you would cancel somebody? The politics,
Like
or,
Taylor
Oh yeah,
Swift
I would
or
cancel somebody like the R. Kelly people. Like that's totally not politically related. I'm canceling someone who I think is bringing harm to, like, really, like, if you're bringing harm or, you know, just like.
So that's your grounds for cancellation, bringing harm to people.
Yeah.
I'm like, you ain't gotta bring harm to people if I just don't like you.
Well, you mentioned Taylor Swift. I mean,
Yes.
that was just like an example, or
Oh, okay. What
You
is
don't
it?
like Taylor?
I don't think I don't. I'm
like
not
Taylor
a fan
Swift.
of Taylor,
I
but
don't
she's
either.
not canceled in my book.
Yeah.
she's canceled. I don't support her at all.
I don't like some of the. I can't even be like real specific about like some of the stuff I think that like she has done in the way that she uses like her power and her like whiteness to get ahead. I just don't. I just don't like the way she has carried herself. I can't give any specifics on like, oh, Taylor Swift like has said this. Maybe you might have some.
I mean, I have some examples, but I just kept reading. I keep reading now, but like Logan Paul, for example,
Yes.
That
was, but he's not canceled because he's still getting checks. He still gets YouTube advertising dollars and stuff. So I think it was like 2 years ago he had posted a video. He went to like the
Japan?
Suicide Forest in Japan.
I remember that.
And it was a big outrage, and everyone's saying he's getting canceled. And in the cultural zeitgeist, he was canceled, but he's still getting advertising revenue. He's still getting endorsements by social media brands.
But how much of that
See,
can
people
we
like
really
that are
control?
canceled to me.
But in my opinion, we can cancel you in the culture, but if you're still getting checks, then you're not really canceled.
Is cancel culture like a black to the black thing? That's
Right.
I see it as that. I'm like, we was never with Logan Paul.
Anyway.
Like Roseanne was canceled.
Roseanne was canceled.
She should have been with her
And she should have been
racist
canceled.
ass.
You know.
You love her. You love her.
Rashad
I love
Roseanne.
Roseanne. I like the
Fuck
TV show.
Roseanne.
You know what's really
What did she say again?
I forget,
I
but
don't
they said
know.
it's socially performative. This is a really good article, actually.
But I was gonna
Everyone
say
should
what's
read
really
it.
interesting is because you're
Oh,
like,
she said
is
it better.
cancel culture like a black thing? And previously we were talking about black, like the buying power, you know, of
Yeah, black
people.
people.
Yeah.
I don't think, or I don't know if this is true or not, but maybe in the digital sphere,
Yeah.
black people don't have as much of a buying power? I don't know. Because, like, if you think of people getting canceled, right? Let's say all the black people, like, they canceled.
Right.
And they're still getting all of these
checks
from their streams and whatnot.
Right.
So who's watching?
The white people.
Yes.
Yes.
What?
I know, but I think black people are still like very influential. In that
Yes.
scene. Like there's a lot of people out there who don't like black people anyway. Like you make it as a trend that you cancel them. I don't even care. Like,
yeah, that's true.
but one like
that's the other thing. They trend. When we cancel them,
they trend.
They trend.
They for sure trend.
That's publicity for them. That's bringing them more.
And it gives them
Logan Paul did die down for like a couple of months.
I don't even know the name.
But then he came
Sorry
back.
to that
Yeah,
man.
it did came back.
When
But like I don't
Street.
even know nobody who even like watched his videos.
I don't know nobody black who does.
Right.
I know plenty of white people who support him in his merch.
Right.
He got merch.
He got merch.
Everybody got merch.
The same could be said for like someone like what's his name, Jeffree Star, right? There were I don't know the specifics around this, but Jeffree Star has like a cosmetic line.
I know
He
Jeffree.
had-
He's like
okay.
one of the biggest YouTubers on.
Yes. And supposedly he has said numerous times racial comments or things about black people.
Mm-hmm.
And he is totally not canceled,
Not at all,
clearly.
yeah.
He continues to get different deals
Yep.
and
Endorsements,
collaborations
yep.
and endorsements.
I think that stems from something different though, because he's such a face and a person and a spokesman for the gay community who is openly into that realm. You feel me?
Right.
Like regardless of if even all the black gays cancel him, you feel me? The rest of the gay community, whether it be Mexican or Hispanic, Oriental, or whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? Like they still support that because he is that path for that world for them. You know
So you're
what I'm
saying like some people are able to escape like the cancel culture because of the fact that they are a minority themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think some people do, but do I agree with the fact that they're able to like escape
No,
it?
absolutely
I don't.
not.
Like you're canceled. Period. I don't care if you're a minority. If you're black and you're saying some crazy stuff, Kanye.
So you
You're
don't listen to
canceled.
Kanye?
But I've seen things on the internet.
I try not to.
Okay.
I don't listen to none of his new stuff, but if I can hear some old stuff, I'll be like, oh God, this is
Wait,
so
wait,
good,
did you
and I'm
So
mad.
do you listen to old R. Kelly stuff?
No, I don't listen to R. Kelly at all.
Oh, so you can listen to old Kanye
I
stuff,
do.
but you can't.
No,
listen
I don't really. Like, I'll hear it. I might listen to the little intro, and I'm like, okay, skip. I'm not going to listen to
I believe I can fly as a Bob.
No, I'm not listening to it.
Oh, that's what it is.
Step in the name of love.
Now, one other person who
We gonna edit him out. We gonna edit him out.
someone else who I have to
Nate
bring
is
up
canceled.
though, because I've gotten to this disagreement before with my boyfriend or like some other people is Chris Brown. So you had mentioned, I think Cameron, you had mentioned before about like people being able to change and this and that.
I never cancel Chris Brown. I'm sorry.
I will never cancel.
But
I don't
Cheers to
want to say
that.
never. Chris might do
Cheers
some
to that,
stuff.
Cameron.
Wait, pause.
Cheers, brother. I can't cancel Chris.
But for many people, Chris Brown was canceled after
The Rihanna incident.
the incident with
10 years
Rihanna.
ago.
Right. You throw my Ferrari keys, I'll beat you up too.
No, Cameron.
Shit. You know how much that car costs?
Now, if Cameron
That was
ever,
I didn't edit that out. I didn't say that.
But it is interesting, and I have to kind of like look at myself, like, okay, well, why didn't I cancel him? Because I don't support or I would not be
Condone.
okay or I don't condone domestic violence in
I don't either.
any way.
No.
Going whether it's between a man and a man, a man and
At
a
all,
woman,
period.
a woman and a woman. If it's the woman being the aggressor, I don't
You don't like
support it or
violence.
condone it.
Mhm.
Exactly, I don't like violence.
So what do you
and so-
expect? Like if she hitting him, what do you expect him to do?
No, okay,
That's
domestic
that's
violence
the
is
next topic.
another
That's a
topic.
different
Yeah,
topic.
that's the next topic. But
Because we don't know all the real facts about
we
what
don't.
happened.
But so let's not talk about that. But what I'm saying is the fact that I do have to kind of look at myself and think about like, well, why did I not cancel him?
But why didn't you?
Because he's talented.
I can't.
He's
I honestly
talented
cannot answer that. Well, Kanye West is very talented.
I think Chris Brown is one of the most talented.
But I think one of the
human
things
beings.
that
Ever.
I think one of the distinctions between Kanye's actions and Chris Brown's actions for me is the fact that
I know.
he was bringing harm to one person, which I do not support at all.
But
Kanye could
The
potentially
whole-
had the potential to bring harm to a whole
whole
collective
culture,
of
yeah.
people,
Mhm.
and I think for me that is a little more problematic. I'm not saying, or I can't even say
Yeah.
more problematic,
Spare
but
the few to save
it's,
the many.
yeah, I can't really explain
That's
it.
what
I'm
you're doing.
not even doing
So,
a good job articulating.
you actually
myself.
just triggered something for me because
triggered?
well,
Oh.
Uh-oh, we need a doctor.
no, just like you reminded me. So like, I really do think, as I was reading that article, that it is performative because I hear people all the time say, "I don't support Chris Brown. I don't support Chris Brown." At the BET Experience last year when he was headlining, that place was sold out. It was packed out. So it's like, people who I've seen to my face say, "I don't support Chris Brown," were there, front row, cheering and screaming and dancing along with him. So I don't think cancel culture at the end of the day exists. Period.
It
like,
don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. But people want to say, "Oh, they're
It's-
canceled. I don't support him."
It sounds
And
good.
I can not support it, and you can not support, and we can all not support. But at the end of the day, there's gonna be enough people to give these people what I consider not cancel if you get like something monetary. So
And what's crazy is it's like, we want to say cancel culture exists, but even R. Kelly isn't canceled by a lot of even black people. Older black people don't cancel. You feel me?
So-
They say it's okay.
What I was gonna say
Big
about
facts.
that is
No.
when you had brought up the fact that cancel culture seems like a black thing, right? It's real easy for black people to cancel white people,
In a
yes.
heartbeat.
and
In a
we have seen
heartbeat.
white people
Ooh,
get canceled.
We
Yes.
cancel who?
But just think, okay, remember when the Donald
Roseanne?
Sterling stuff happened?
Oh,
Roseanne,
yeah.
Roseanne was canceled.
quick canceled,
Rashad
gone.
didn't cancel Roseanne.
The rest of us did.
Pauly D
but
also got
it's
canceled
very
fast.
easy.
He
Pauly
did-
D,
Pauly D was canceled
exactly.
fast.
But it's hard. I think sometimes black people, a lot of times, we struggle with canceling
Our
our
own
own
people.
folks because of the fact that we are aware of a lot of the struggles that we can like relate and
Right.
kind of empathize with
Yeah.
them, you know,
Yeah.
with the shared struggles that we have. So it's hard. I get that. But I'm sorry, but some black people need to be canceled too.
R. Kelly for sure need to be canceled, but a lot of aunties and uncles and grandmamas and shit.
They're gonna be
like,
stepping in the
baby,
name
I
of
would've
love
been
until
there
eternity.
too. I'd have been locked up with them. Like, no.
I've seen those sort of sick comments too.
Yeah,
and
like
Yeah.
for real, like that shit is
it's
not cool.
sad.
Does cancel culture only exist because of the internet?
Yes.
Yes.
Honestly, because of Twitter. It's Black Twitter to be specific. You feel me? Like a lot of stuff is influenced by Black Twitter.
But people also don't look at, like, I've seen, you know, we all exist on Black Twitter. So many people don't exist on Black Twitter and don't see the same memes we see. They don't see
Yes,
it.
they do though, because
Some-
that shit goes
but a lot of
viral.
people don't see it though. I've talked to, you know, I won't name any names. People be like, oh, I never saw it before. I'm like, that went viral. Like everyone, no, I know. I've
Well,
never
because
seen
Twitter
it
got
before.
algorithms that let you
Yeah,
show, only
that.
show you stuff you follow by people you follow.
But I'm just thinking of like some of the Black Twitter type things that have gone viral. Like,
Some
they've
go
gone
viral.
really viral.
Some
the
have gone really viral,
dances, the memes, the sayings.
Mhm.
Yeah. I hear you, but not everything goes.
That's true.
There's celebrities that only black people really know.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Like who?
Many celebrities, black people know that I don't know.
That,
Why
that part,
who?
bro. So I know some people I don't know either.
Mhm. And we all know.
That's a different point. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just saying that, like, you know, it's
Figure it out.
that I agree with Lauren.
Right. And speaking of, let's go back a little bit to cancel culture. Like the reason, like those people haven't been fully canceled is, if only if you do something to black women, you're not getting canceled.
Wait, sorry.
If black women are the victim
Yes.
of like the person's
They aren't
violence,
Gonna, they aren't going to cancel.
they are not going to
the
cancel them. Black women aren't like
protected
Wow.
enough.
protected enough for people to care enough about them to do anything about
That is
it.
a tough pill to swallow, and it's the truth.
Oof.
And that's what it is.
I need to think about that a little more, but I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
That's deep.
If Chris Brown would have beat up Taylor Swift,
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh
Ooh.
yeah. The whole
Shit.
Miley Cyrus
The career would be
community
done.
Right.
would
It'd
have
be
killed
over.
Chris Brown.
It would have been over.
All the party in the USA's would have been
Yeah.
at Chris
It
Brown's
would have
door.
been over.
party to me.
Man.
That was a bop.
Yeah, I
That's what I'm saying. Her whole, I feel like they share the same crowd.
No,
know. Miley and Taylor?
Yeah.
No.
Oh. What?
Miley's
No.
a little.
You telling
Miley's
me-
kind of ratchet.
Yeah.
Miley's back.
You telling me people who listen to Miley Cyrus don't listen to Taylor Swift?
No.
They have some overlapping, I would say, but I think it's two totally different people.
Totally different.
So my other question is then, what is the difference between, you know, not supporting someone? I don't support Miley or Taylor, but neither
I
of them
don't
are
have-
canceled, and canceling somebody. Is there a
Yeah.
difference?
It is well, canceling is like a whole nother level. Like you just don't agree with
Anything
that they have
do.
done. Supporting them, you might just not like their music.
Yeah.
Right.
I have problems with Miley Cyrus as well, but I do. I like Miley, but you know, I just think she, when she went through this phase of like making like kind of like
Yeah.
Black-ish music.
Oh, like the rest of
And
them?
then she was
Justin
like smoking
Timberlake did the same
weed,
thing.
and
Like
she was doing
Wrecking
all.
Ball, when she was wearing the Michael Jordan jersey and all
Yeah,
that.
and she did
Yes.
all them songs, and then
But
the
she's
next
not
her
the
next
only
album
one,
was
though.
different, and then she was like, "Oh, I'm done with that phase. I'm not doing any of that stuff no more." That's why your shit ain't popping.
So what about Kylie Jenner with the lip injections and the tans trying to be darker and shit like
And
that?
the rest of them,
Kardashians
Jenner
been
Kardashians.
canceled
What about
for
like
me.
Justin Timberlake? He
I like
built
the
his career on black
Kardashians.
people.
Yeah, I know you
hey,
too.
hey.
I'm not saying he's not
Hey.
canceled to me, but I'm saying he built his career off
I
black
don't
people.
do Justin jokes.
That's not a joke.
He's not a joke.
Ooh.
But he built his career like.
So we gonna wrap it.
now.
No,
But it don't last long.
it don't.
Yeah, because Justin actually, he got canceled for the Janet Jackson stuff. People were canceling him. He didn't really get
Not as much.
canceled.
Janet got
but
the
people
big
were,
run of it.
Jenna
She
got
did. No,
canceled.
no, no, but
Because
I'm
she's a black
Janet
woman.
got-
No, but I'm
Janet
saying
got canceled.
some black people were canceling Justin over how
I don't
he
think he did.
And this was
He didn't
recent.
say nothing.
This was
He didn't say
recent.
anything.
People came out saying a lot of stuff
Oh, he
about
did the Super Bowl.
And
The
I don't know if
Stripper
you
Bowl?
guys knew.
Did you call it the stripper bowl? 'Cause
No, the
Janet
Super-
Jackson-
no, the-
Oh.
Oh, we need to make a stripper bowl. Though.
Let's
That'd
not
be
do
tight. A bracket
But
like
I don't
the
know
best
if y'all
strippers in the
knew, but I
US.
just
Not
found
the
this
US.
out recently. And I can't remember what song it was, but it was a popular song that
Thirsty.
Justin Timberlake was on. But I think it was the one with Nelly Furtado. Maybe it was Promiscuous Girl or whatever. And they have
Oh,
a
similar.
verse.
Mhm.
And he actually, like, has some of his bars are, like, a diss towards Janet Jackson.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yes.
might have to
Go back
listen to
and
that.
listen to
Look at
it.
it.
Yeah, but he, like, kind of dissed her a little bit. Recently, though, a lot of people were canceling Justin. I don't know where it came from, but people were trying to cancel him, too. Because of the Janet Jackson
Years
stuff and
later,
how he
but-
did not speak up about the incident or
Just like the
support
white
her when
man.
everyone was like kind of
Mhm.
shaming her
Yeah.
when he pulled the thing off her titty, which didn't make sense.
Right.
Right.
So let's just go around and say I would like to know who y'all think should be canceled,
Oh, in the future?
or if
Like
you
now?
think no one really deserves to be canceled because this is America.
Canceling.
Donald Trump should be canceled. He gotta go.
I
Gone.
agree. That-
For all, not even from the presidency, he got to go from the
Life.
life.
Not saying that he should die. I mean, but hey, I
In
wouldn't
due
cry.
time.
Not due time.
I wouldn't cry. The Simpsons ain't failed me yet. So,
He could definitely be
He has
canceled.
got to be
Sure.
canceled.
His
Got to go.
administration.
so we can all agree
canceled.
Donald Trump should be
He's
canceled.
got to go.
Mhm.
We can all agree that R. Kelly should be canceled.
Gone.
Mhm.
Yes.
Who
For the
else?
most part.
I feel like those are the only two we can really agree on.
Well, one other that people try to cancel, and Roshan could be like, don't do him, Jesse.
Jesse,
Oh.
Jesse was.
No.
Well, they did come after him.
The
Juicy
reason
Smoothie-
what makes me
Juicy
so
Smoothie-
mad
Juicy
about
Smoothie gotta
Jesse
go.
was because like
Yeah.
he
He gotta
had
go.
all
Juicy
these people,
Smoothie.
battling against each other,
Yeah, I
or
want his
like.
You got the gays coming out. You got black people coming out to defend you, and it was all a lie.
I don't
It was
support
all
people
a
who cry
lie.
wolf.
I
Yeah.
don't like that at all. He got to be canceled. But
We
they,
learned that at a
they
young
lost his
age.
job. He's not on Empire anymore.
Who was watching Empire anyway?
Nobody.
Someone was.
I watched
Somewhat.
season 4.
I haven't watched Empire.
So
in years.
Juicy Smoothie canceled.
Mm-hmm. We got black people always canceling black
I
people.
think I will uncancel personally Kanye West if he if he goes to therapy, stop making outlandish statements. I'll uncancel him for myself. I know he's not generally canceled, but I will go back and listen to his
I
music.
think Kanye is still somewhat like suspended.
He's
Like,
suspended. I like that actually. I like that. He's
Suspended.
suspended.
because like I don't think his career will
You
ever
on
be
timeout.
the way it was.
True.
But he should be on timeout.
Yeah,
His career is booming. though.
It's
I'm like,
booming.
but it's not like he's
But
not
it's-
he not on like everywhere
It's not
playing
College
Gold
Dropout.
Digger and
That's
My
true.
Dark Twisted Fantasy.
It's
He
not
that
like
guy.
But I think that's true for a lot of black hip hop artists. Like they're not. Like
We
this
haven't
is
found out
we're in a
how old
whole
Kanye is.
different era right now. You don't see them. Like they're not at the award shows.
I know.
I mean,
Not
you
at
had
the
3
award
6
shows.
Mafia winning a Oscar. That's not the day and age we live in right now.
Yeah.
Like so that's true for a lot of people, but I still think Kanye's career is doing very well.
He is booming. It's on and popping. But he's suspended for right now. I
Yeah, I
like
think
that.
I'll
I'll start using that
We're gonna adopt
actually.
that.
Suspension.
He's,
Yeah,
he's
you're
suspended.
suspended.
It's levels to this.
There is level. What is
It's
I
like a
that.
timeout. You suspended.
And then you
cancel.
expel.
Like
Yeah.
expelled.
Or like R. Kelly. You should be gone.
Yeah. Bury that nigga under the jail.
Right.
No.
But like people like what's that dude named who did all that stuff to Kesha? Is it Scott Storms?
No.
Dr. Luke.
Dr. Lou.
Yeah.
He should be canceled.
I don't even know nothing about that.
Well, I don't know that much about the Kesha situation, but he's like
Probably.
a prominent like producer,
He made hits.
songwriter. He did make hits.
Yeah.
And weren't the allegations regarding sexual
Like he was like
assault?
sexual assault,
Yeah.
molestation and stuff like that against
Nope.
Kesha and stuff like
Well,
that.
canceled.
automatic grounds for cancellation.
Uh-huh.
Done.
Even if he was acquitted.
You all know why I don't like
Ooh.
I'm just saying.
Scooter Braun for some reason.
That's a whole different
I don't
topic.
know
I'm
enough
all in
about
favor
that.
of Scooter Braun.
All right.
Down with Taylor Swift.
Oh!
Where's Scooter Braun?
He is the preeminent like music manager of all time. Justin
Like
Timberlake,
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber, so many people.
It was so many people.
Ariana Grande, like.
But I heard there was like the way he did like Amber
Wasn't there
Riley
some
and Tasha
issue
Cole and
with
stuff like that.
Ariana Grande too?
But he bought Taylor Swift's catalog, so I am here for it. I'm here for it.
So he did.
Because she was mad, and you say
What
that.
all the other stuff he did on other people?
He bought Taylor Swift's catalog. I'm here for it.
So Nate's here for it for Scooter Braun.
He also has so many
Anything
other,
to bring
he also has so many other clients that's like they're not canceling him. So unless Ariana
When Taylor
Grande,
Swift was like, only people who didn't.
if Ariana Grande comes out and says Scooter Braun this and that, which is not happening, then maybe I'll reconsider. But
Just her?
until like I got two or more
Oh,
people.
so a little white girl got to say something, but not the black people.
But Taylor Swift been said something about her, and I don't care.
Huh? But I'm talking about the black people.
Oh,
What black people?
Amber, Todrick,
I don't care about Todrick either. Taylor, once again.
Amber who?
Riley.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking Amber Rose. I'm like, what is happening?
Anyway.
she got a music career? Okay.
I love Amber though.
Speaking of dismissing black women, let's continue.
I know. No, I actually think that's the end of it.
Huh? He
No, I got it. But okay, I got it.
All right, I got it.
I'm dead.
I did not miss it. But I think we're all in agreement that we canceled R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We also agree that cancel culture doesn't really like
Exist.
exist. It's very
Well, Roseanne got canceled.
wishy-washy.
Oh, yeah.
She got sent back to Hawaii on her
Cancel,
peanut farm.
yeah, cancel culture exists for black people when we're canceling white
When
people.
we're canceling
No,
white people.
We just
Paula
can't cancel
Deans
ours.
and everybody else.
We just can't
We,
cancel
can't,
ourselves.
we can't agree to cancel on the niggas. Like
We can.
The only nigga we agreed to cancel is R. Kelly.
He needed to get.
Yeah.
Like I said, we can't cancel the niggas, but okay.
Yeah, so that's it for this cancel culture conversation.
This podcast
Follow
will
us.
be canceled.
Don't cancel us.
Nah, just suspend this for a little bit. Oh, we'll cancel this now.
Follow us
Just
on
follow me.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
All of the above.
Sa-
It will
yeah, at
scroll
Next
across
Topic.
the screen.
Yeah, at Next
It
Topic
probably won't
Podcast.
go that way.
This way then.
You can
Okay.
follow me on
Oh, this-
Instagram at COOLKEYES.
Don't ever do that.
LLKEYES.
Okay, next.
Next person, you can follow me at Shads_space. That's SHADS_SPACE. Ow. Go, Cameron.
You can follow me everywhere at Clicks by Cam, KLICKSBY. KAM. I was like, what? I thought you was quoting me.
Oh, no.
And y'all can follow the real
Real,
Nate
exactly.
Blackout.
I should change it to that.
I know you really
I
need
should change
to.
it to real Nate Blackout. It's at Nate Blackout on Instagram and Twitter. It's NATEBLACKOUT.
And if it's not that, by the time you follow him, it's probably the real name.
I'm gonna change it.
And if you guys have suggestions for topics you want to hear us talk about, drop them in the comments on YouTube, Instagram, wherever
Subscribe.
you subscribe,
comment,
all that stuff.
Share, retweet, like, you feel me?
Yeah, and we'll see y'all next time
Right.
with the next
Next
topic.
Toodaloo.
Yes.
Where the only rule is to stay on topic,
On
and
this
no topic is off
side.
limits.
Yeah, you off.
I'm mad at you.